Hi, Sam.
Hi.
You got yourself into a winning position tonight. Can you put your finger on where it went wrong?
It went wrong by two moments of the balls in our box that we didn't deal with correctly. Two very scruffy goals that could have been avoided. I think a lot of what we're talking about has happened again tonight after lots of trying to make players aware of the situation, particularly your defenders. I'm dealing with the situation as it arises, and fortunately for us, I mean, they were just about to bring Billy Sharp off, and all of a sudden, his last moments in the game ends up him scoring a goal. So you think, wow, what would have happened if it had been a few seconds more? Would have been the same. But the biggest moment in this game, apart from me being very disappointed about the two goals we conceded, was the save from Ramsdale off Callum Robinson, and that would have been us 2-1 up at that stage of the game. And I'd have to say, with our defensive frailties, that we may not have won the game from there, but I don't think we would have lost it. And that would have been another point, may have been 3. And that moment came and went, and that is the biggest defining moment in the game for me.
You said before the match it was a mustn't lose. How damaging is that defeat?
It's very damaging because we play a game of football not to lose, and we keep losing far too many. And so I've done my best to help the squad. The club has done the best to help the squad that's already here. We've done all we can possibly do in terms of improving the squad. And we certainly hope the players who've come along to join the fight that we have can make a big contribution as quickly as possible. That might not be as easy for OK from Spain, and obviously Mbai catching up with the pace of the Premier League, but certainly Robert Snodgrass's experience and Ainsley, England international, will hopefully lift the players that were already here when they see and hope they show the quality that we know they've got, they can put into the Premier League as quickly as possible. It may be a little bit more difficult for Mbai and OK, but certainly from Robert, once he catches up with his match fitness, and Ainsley ready to go straight in. There'll be no problems there whatsoever, no worries at all. We'll turn the corner and start picking up points. And when we can get to achieving more points than games played, which is what we should have done, I think, today and the last game against Fulham, we should actually be sat here with 3 points. We should have seen the game out at Fulham from being in the lead, and we certainly shouldn't have lost this game today. So 4 points out of 2 games would have been great. Now we've only got 1, and again, I only have ourselves to blame.
Thank you, Sam.
Can we go to Joe Chapman, hands raised for follow-ups, please?
Sam, what was the kind of the message at half-time? It was quite a different situation you've been in there, where actually your team have been in the lead, defended largely well for that first half. We've got something to cling on to. How do you then kind of, that Sheffield United are going to come out and kind of have a go?
Well, cope with it, which is what we'd have to do, and like I said, if Sheffield United are going to score, it has to be a really good goal, and that's what I've said every time we go out. Don't gift a goal. Don't let the opposition score. And obviously, there were times in the first goal that we could have dealt with it better, got it out of our box, or at least got a block on the shot. And again, the same with the second goal, which is, very disappointing, because with enough bodies in and around those areas twice to have not let the opposition get a shot off on target. I mean, Sam Johnson hasn't had a difficult save to make today, while Sheffield United put us under pressure. Yes, the vast majority of our defending was excellent. And then, of course, you go on the counter-attack and create the best chance of the game, which is Callum Robinson's chance at 1-1. And like I said, those are the most defining moments in the game. The defining moments in the game are split seconds, and that split second about us not going 2-1 up ends up where we've ultimately should have still not conceded the second goal. but we did. But certainly from 2-1, I don't think we'd have lost again. So that big save from their goalkeeper gave them the opportunity for me to win this match today.
Is there any more you feel you can still do, Sam, what you and your coaching staff can still offer the players, the defensive-minded players? Because it is like a chronic problem, isn't it, that every single week it feels like Groundhog Day.
Another 2 goals again, yeah, another two to Stoke. I've been saying all along we have to score 3 to win a game. Again tonight it's happened up to be like that. But then again, I don't think we don't, like I say, I'm not saying we would have won 2-1 up, but defining moments make a difference. The big defining moment today, for our point of view, was not conceding in the first 10 minutes and getting 1-0 up at half time. So that's a small plus for us. But we've got to be able to start concentrating more. And like I said, my responsibility was to help this squad and improve this squad in the short time I've been here, but also to help it with the players. And the club has gone and we've gone and got 4 players to help the squad. We've gone out there and tried to find, under hugely difficult circumstances, and having to get players on loan is not the easiest job in the world, because most of the clubs just wanted to sell them. But we managed 3 top quality loan players that we hope will make a difference. And Robert Snodgrass, with his massive experience in the Premier League and his ability to make the difference very quickly, because we've only got 16 games left, and our games to points total is a big gap.
Can I just ask finally for me, what your hopes, your plans are for the next 4 or 5 days as regards to Ainsley and OK ahead of Sunday?
Well, OK hasn't arrived yet. We're still waiting of I think a visa, or I think it's a visa. Is it a visa, Ian? Yeah, it's a visa. And Ainsley will be popping up later in the week, and we will give the lads a day off, because obviously fatigue is big for everybody. The lads who haven't played will do some training tomorrow, and we'll build up for Tottenham on Sunday.
Thanks, Sam.
Go ahead, Steve.
Sam, in terms of the defensive lapses, is it simply a case of the players not taking on board what you're telling them, or do you reach a point where you think...
No, it's concentration. You've got to admit that you've got to look at the situation and say none of our players, or very few of our players, have played in the Premier League. So you've got, I think, Robert Snodgrass, you've got Jake Livermore, we've got, I'm not sure, have we got anybody else in, have we, in the team today? Robson Carnu came on, he's got a bit of Premier League experience. So the rest of the team are finding out what the Premier League's all about, and they're suffering for it, because obviously we're getting punished for the small errors that they don't get punished for in the Championship are getting punished here, particularly defensively. Because, like I said before, Sam Johnson hasn't really had any difficult saves to make, apart from, I don't think he had much chance with the 2 goals. But the 2 goals were very avoidable from our defensive point of view, because they weren't clear-cut chances and they weren't clear-cut goals. We were enough bodies in that area to have blocked out those shots, and unfortunately didn't.
When you look at the situation, Sam, I mean, from the outside, it looks fairly desperate position to be in now. How do you keep on believing? Because I guess if you don't believe, then the players aren't going to believe.
Well, like I said, when you've decided to attack the situation by bringing new players in, and if I didn't think it was a chance, I wouldn't have pushed as hard as I'd pushed to get those players in. What I did know was, it wasn't going to get, or we weren't going to get better enough to survive with the existing squad, with no disrespect to them. But that's a fact, because my expertise are lying in trying to assess players very quickly and saying to the board and the owners that we need help. And that's no disrespect to them, because I've done that wherever I've been. And when I brought the players in at those clubs, we've turned the corner. But I have to say, we need to turn the corner very, very quickly now, and those players need to make a big impact almost straight away, because the size and the distance between games played and points that we've got is very big, and that's why we got only ourselves to blame by not acquiring 3 points in these 2 very important games today. Sorry, we should have had 4 points, at least. So we haven't done it, and now we find ourselves with one.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Sam, can you hear me? No, you've gone.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.